everybody, my name is Teresa Weber, and I will be talking about texting while driving. The use of cell phones while driving leads to an average of 1.6 million crashes each year. Most, if not all of us, have cell phones and drive automobiles. The purpose of my speech is to try and limit the amount of car accidents that occur each year. After doing various research online and reading many articles, I will discuss the effects of using a cell phone while driving. First, I will be discussing the problem at hand. Then, I will be discussing plans to try and resolve this problem. And lastly, I will be discussing the benefits of resolving the problem. As of 2016, it is estimated that approximately 232 million people use cellular devices. Growing up in a time of convenience and leisure allows people to communicate within seconds. Oh, it will only take a second. How many people have used this excuse while driving? People often find that it is acceptable to send a text while driving because it only takes a second. Although texting seems almost instantaneous, people don't realize how long it takes your eyes to adjust from looking down at your phone to looking up at the road. According to Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. While traveling at 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field blindfolded. Think about it. 1 second you're looking down at your phone, typing a 3-word response, and the next second you look up and you're 53 yards down, facing oncoming traffic. Terrifying, right? Who would willingly offer to do this? Well, you do every time you pick up a phone while you're driving. How often do we find ourselves bored and annoyed on our daily commutes to and from work or school? I know that I, for one, do. The article Hand on the Wheel, Mind on the Mobile discusses why people tend to use cell phones while driving. The author Steven Sealer says that people might simply desire preoccupation, and for many, mobile devices provide such mental diversion. It is possible then that people text while driving as a mental diversion during routine commutes. Although driving can become irritating and boring at times, there are safer ways to occupy your mind, such as turning on the radio or singing. Let's face it, we are only in the car for a short period of our day. There is no reason that a text cannot wait until we've reached our destination. According to Fox News, in 2014, people drive more erratically when they're texting and driving than when they're drinking and driving. They are also 6 times more likely to be in an accident if they're texting and driving. Over 90% of AT&T users admit to texting and driving while knowing how dangerous it is. Not only do they justify their behavior, they don't think an accident could happen to them just because they are careful. Nobody plans for an accident. By trying to avoid an accident by limiting your focus on just driving will ensure you of not getting into one. 3 in 10 people believe that they can do several things at once, even while driving. In fact, studies have shown that people who have the most confidence that they can multitask are actually the worst at it, Eric Miller told Fox News. Imagine pulling up to a red light and seeing someone texting, changing the radio, and brushing their hair. Is this the type of person you want to be driving near? It's a scary thought thinking that even though you're doing everything right, someone who is being careless can affect your life. Now that I've discussed the problem of texting and driving, let's talk about ways to fix it. Although it seems almost impossible to avoid the temptation of picking up our phones, there are ways to limit it from happening. CNN News states that parents have a crucial role in texting and driving. Children watch everything their parents do, so it is important to send the right message out while driving. By texting and driving as parents, you are doing a tremendous disservice to your kids. Although parents have been texting and driving decades longer than their children, they still do not have the ability to ensure safety while texting and driving now. Ways to show children the right way to handle a phone while driving can include turning the sound off, turning it off altogether, not touching it until you're stopped at your destination, putting it in your purse or bag, or etc. Digital responsibility suggests a variety of methods to limit texting and driving. First, designated drivers. Designated drivers provide a safe and practical ride for people under the influence. Substituting driving for texting is an awesome way to avoid dangerous situations. While driving, select a friend to be your designated texter. Another way to limit cell phone use while driving is to hide it. Put your phone in the glove box or turn off or back seat, somewhere you can't reach it so you have no temptation to grab it. It is almost a natural reflex for you to grab your phone when you hear it go off. So it is important that you turn your sound off to avoid reaching for it. As of 2016, there are many apps to prevent cell phone use while driving. For example, AT&T Drive Mode, DriveSafe.ly, Texecution, DriveScribe, and Texstar. These apps allow you to block messages or calls, let your friends know when you're driving, disables texting when you're over 10 miles per hour, rewards you for driving well, and etc. Lastly, you can make a promise. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has a pledge against distracted driving. If you want to keep your word, take the pledge and make the road safer. Now that I've discussed how we can limit texting and driving, I'll explain the benefits from it. People who choose not text and drive eliminate death and injury of human life caused by cell phone distraction while driving. This will save over 3,000 people per year and 430,000 people from becoming injured. It also allows people to reconnect. Drivers and passengers are able to communicate and create bonds rather than texting or surfing the internet while in a car. And lastly, it allows people to focus better on the road and increase the performance of driving altogether. In conclusion, the purpose of my speech is to try and limit the amount of car accidents that occur. While thinking about texting and driving, it is important to keep in mind why we feel the need to do it, how it will affect us, and all the ways to avoid doing it. Texting Organization Against Distracted Driving is an organization that ensures future mobile technology users are educated and ready to enter the mobile environment safely and responsibly. TOADD is committed to partnering with others to ensure that these cell phone users contribute to building a healthier mobile environment. To date, TOADD has reached over 15,000 individuals since 2010. Volunteers are always encouraged. I urge you to not only think about your own safety, but everyone's safety around you. Put the phones down, be patient, and encourage a safer environment while driving.